And that means we have our plant and garden expert, Craig Hignite, joining us in the studio, taking your plant and garden questions at home. We're getting that Facebook Live up, but we have a bunch of questions that were written into the studio ahead of time. So we're going to kick it off with John. He says, I have 2-year-old asparagus roots from last year that didn't get planted. Can I plant them now or wait till 3 years old?
Well, if they have not been in the ground and they have not been growing for 2 years, they're gone. Their next stop is the compost pile. If they've been kept in a container, you just said roots. The roots don't have that much longevity. Just check and see if they're still pliable, not brittle, and plant them. Keep your fingers crossed.
All righty, perfect. Moving on to the next one. So Judy would like to know, can and when should I transplant false indigo plant?
False indigo, it's got quite a root system on it, so I would wait until spring. Let it get through the season, unless it's a kill or cure operation where it's going to end up under a sidewalk or a driveway in the next year. Lift it in the spring, move it with as much soil as possible, and it should come through just fine.
Kim asking, when can I transplant a hydrangea bush?
Again, spring is the best time. Just as they start to come out of their dormancy, you're going to cut most hydrangeas back pretty drastically anyway, which you will do when you transplant. Again, out of the ground, back into the ground as fast as possible. Oh, I didn't say root stimulator, did I?
No, tisk.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All righty, well, next one. So Chad would like to know, how can I transplant a root-bound peace lily?
Okay. The best way to go about the peace lily is get a pot that is slightly larger. Wait until a day that it's ready to be repotted. Take it out of the old pot. Take a butcher knife and make a couple of slices up the edge on opposite sides of the root system to break roots that might be going around inside the pot. You don't have to fluff them out or anything like that. Then you put it in the new pot with fresh soil, water it in thoroughly, and then start watching. When it's ready for water, the leaves will dip just a little bit. Always water thoroughly, drain the excess, and wait for the plant to tell you when it's ready for water. Oh, they don't require highlight, but after transplanting, I'd give it a little more light to help build itself back up.
Okay. Pam's asking, do you need to stake vanilla strawberry hydrangeas?
You really shouldn't have to. I know the first year they can be somewhat weak. They don't have a really good root system when they go in the ground. So it might take a year or two for them to go ahead and bulk up. The first couple of years, they're going to put a lot of their energy into producing a root system. If they keep flopping, I would dare say that they're not getting enough light. They're stretching and then falling over. If you have to put something on them eventually, get a peony hoop, put it on before the plant starts to grow, feed it up through the hoop. It'll keep the plant from flopping under the rain during the summer.
Perfect. All righty. So Chris would like to know, why are the leaves on my bleeding heart yellow?
Bleeding heart should be going dormant this time of the year. Bleeding heart very seldom makes it through the entire summer without going into dormancy. So if the plant is starting to yellow out a little bit, this is natural. Quite often, by the time we get into fall, you're not going to see any leaves on a bleeding heart plant. They just do not like our hot summer weather.
Okay. Now this is one that I know it's going to be a good one. So Trent is wondering, do the Japanese beetle traps attract more of the beetles around and do more damage?
Like I always say, if you're using a Japanese beetle trap, you put it in the neighbor's yard that you don't like, because they actually attract more beetles than they're ever going to catch, and you've just created a problem for yourself. Next year, we're about at the end of beetle season, so next year, if you can get that trap at least 100 feet away from your good flower beds, I don't think I'd still use them, but get on top of the beetle population early. The day you see the first one, keep them out of your yard for about 10 days or so. They're going to go to somebody else's yard to do their dirty work.
And there's some other products that you can use to deter them away. You can do like the 7 powder.
I always like the 7. 7, it's the most benign chemical insecticide that is on the market, and it gives you about a 4-day residual. so that you only have to spray every 5 days, which is still a big hassle. But early in the season, it pays off big dividends. Like I say, suppress them early, make them go someplace else.
Well, perfect. All righty. Well, we got one from Diane here. So we got some tomato trouble. Oh, no. So the bottom half is black. Any other tomato problems you can help with?
Okay, that black spot on the bottom of tomato, blossom end rot. This is a chemical imbalance. And I always tell people, the day you put your tomatoes in the ground, you go ahead and pick up some yield booster. It's a liquid calcium spray. So that you spray it on the plant, it goes right through the leaves to alleviate this chemical imbalance early in the season. And if you're growing in the garden, you can normally stop using the yield booster about the time you pick your first tomato. If they're in containers, you use it for the entire season because they're growing on a definite restricted root system, and we always get our watering messed up a little bit on tomatoes, and that just exacerbates the problem.
All right, Craig, thank you. Well, we're going to take just a quick break. In the meantime, you can head over to the WQ80 Facebook page. Morgan was kind enough to set up that Facebook Live through her cell phone right now. So get those questions in the comments section, and we'll get those answered right after this break.